Hello everyone, my name is Lee McMahon. This is daily video for globalfxclub.com. Thank you very much for watching. Today we are going to cover one of my favorite pairs that I don't think gets enough attention, and that is dollar Swedish krona, USD slash SEK, for those of you who need the symbol. I'm going to take a look at exactly what it's been doing lately and what it may be doing over the next couple days. So, please take a moment to pause the recording, read the risk disclaimer, which should now be on your screen, and then we'll get started. Okay, so we are going to look at the 4-hour chart of USD SEK. A couple things that I want to point out. So first, the clearest trend line that we have right now is this one here, connecting these 636.80 lows through 645, and then again we just had another test a couple days ago at around 646.75 or so. We've begun to break down towards that level again. All right, today we had a strong move through this smaller term supporting trend line here. If we can put in a 4-hour close here, about an hour away from it as I record this, the odds of us coming down to test this trend line one more time is certainly pretty good. And I think a move below that trend line, we could start to see a stronger move lower. The reason I say that, excuse me, stems from some very simple Fibonacci analysis. Okay, if we connect high to low, we touched this 50% fib perfectly and have reversed strongly since then. All right, we've continued lower. We have not yet made a new low, but that's usually what those type of rejections call for, is an eventual new low. And then if we look here, all right, we tested another 50% fib perfectly. Here, if we connect from the initial 50% rejection to the most recent higher low that we made. All right, so again, both those call for new lows. And I do expect that we may continue lower here, breach this trend line, and continue lower. So if that does indeed play out, let's jump out to the daily chart and we'll take a look at some possible targets. All right, so the other thing to note is not only did we pull back here from a 50% fib, the smaller 50% fib, but we also retreated from a cluster of daily moving averages. 150 and 200 are all grouped right here, and we are falling away from them. All right, so let's take a look at the larger target using some more Fibonacci analysis. We'll do some Fibonacci extensions. Okay, so this is basically an AB equals CD move here. For those of you that are familiar with that, this is A, B, C, and then D is around here, around 625, this 100% extension right down here. All that means is that there are two equidistant moves, A to B, which is his initial run here, and then C to D, C starting at the 50% fib rejection, carrying down to would be the D point at around 6.25. It's actually 6.23, but considering we have these recent lows down here at 6.27, all right, I would expect that to provide some pretty significant support, and that would be the area that I'd be looking at to exit these longs. All right, so that's what the fib analysis calls for. Moving averages also suggestive of a move lower, as again we are falling back from that cluster, and the moving averages are struggling to regain a bearish alignment here, as the 50% or the 50-day in red has crossed below that 200-day in tan. It is now challenging the 100-day in green. But the one thing that obviously needs to give way first is this trend line here. It's been a fairly significant trend line. It's been holding since June 19th. It has held once, twice, three, four or so times. All right, so it's not a technical level to overlook. And if we fail to break that trend line, eventually we are likely to squeeze higher. But if we do manage to put in a daily close here below this ascending trend line, combined with the Fibonacci analysis and the moving average resistance that we see, I do think the odds for a move lower in dollar Swedish krona is somewhat likely. Let's take a look here at the weekly chart. You can see here on the weekly chart that we've been trading in a fairly standard range, I guess. All right, from basically 6 up to 7.3. We are now somewhere right in the mid-range of that, right in the middle of that range. All right, so if we do break down towards 6.3, certainly there is some horizontal support there. A move lower could even open up a challenge to the bottom of that range. In terms of a possibility of a move higher, sorry, let's go to 4-hour chart, or back to the daily chart. Assume that this bottom trend line holds. All right, where do we start to look for possible moves back up towards those 6-8 highs? That would likely be on a breach of this trend line here. All right, you can see we've held that pretty well. Once, twice, and now 3 and 4 times these past 2 days. In addition to the moving averages, we've held this descending trend line. So this is now, you can also treat this as some sort of triangle breakout. So a move lower, which is preferred, opens up 6.25. But if we do manage to break higher, look out for these moving averages. But above there, we're likely to see a move back up towards those 6.86 highs. As the dollar trades, dollar Swedish krona tends to trade. So we'll see again if this tapering in September actually comes to fruition, how the market reacts to that. Because again, I do think that if we do start to break lower, this is at least a 2 to 3 week move down towards the 6.27 lows. So we'll have some time for the market to process exactly what's going on. All right, so there's one of my favorite pairs and what I think it's going to be doing over the next couple weeks, along with an alternative. I hope that you found that useful. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to head on over to globalfxclub.com. I'll be happy to talk to you there. Enjoy the rest of your trading week, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.